We are live. Express yourself now.
Thanks, Curls. Okay, so John, where were we, brother? It seems like it's been forever.
Yeah. This is my first time on this particular call, so very new to SFM, and haven't got a campaign going yet, but working on the website.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Please don't judge SFM by anything that I say, right? I'm just here to. They're actually really smart, right? A really great community, and yeah, we just come here and we hang out. We have our call every couple weeks, and we talk about nothing technical whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Just about life shit. So we're glad that you're here, my man. Welcome.
Welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to. Let me see if I can find some notes here. So, Curls, you didn't answer me about the card thingy, about bringing that up. You can let me know. How's that? All right, guys. So today we're going to talk about leadership. That's going to be the topic of the day. But before we get into today's topic, we haven't done this in a little while. So if everyone would pretty please just grab a sheet of paper, Post-it note. Doesn't have to be big, and a writing utensil. You actually need something to write with, because a piece of paper by itself is not all that useful unless you're making paper airplanes. So we need something to write with. Let me know when you're all set. Let me know when you're good. Jacqueline, that looks delicious.
It's actually your breakfast recipe that you gave to us with oats and yogurt and fruits and everything. No supplements, but just healthy. It's wonderful. Thank you.
I love it. Look at that. I haven't even had breakfast yet, so it looks really yummy.
Yeah, it's already 3 p.m. here, so it's actually not breakfast anymore, but you can eat that the whole day. So. Touche.
I like it. Reggie and Kate are on the other side of the plant. It can be breakfast time over there when it's dinner time over here, All right, guys. So everybody got a piece of paper and a pen? All right. So here's what I need you to write down. The first thing that comes to your mind, okay, when you think of what is the one thing that is holding you back? Okay, it can be in your business, it can be in your relationships, it can be in your health, it can be anything. What's the one thing holding you back? And then just let me know when you're done.
That one's easy, Danny. It's me.
Amen, brother.
It's right. For me, it is my ability to focus.
All right, I think that we're gonna have a lot of people that have common things on here. We're gonna break that out here in a little bit. So I wanted to write that down. I have mine too, of course, which I will share with you. But so before we go further, so did anybody do anything like last week's action item or 2 weeks ago's action item was to do something that scared the shit out of you? Did anyone do anything? Casper, what did you do, my man?
I love that one. The thing I did was that I decided to start talking about the things that I actually am interested in. That sounds a bit strange maybe, but also on the In Focus call that I did last week, I thought, let's just raise the bar and see what happens. And it's a really interesting thing. I think that it might sound arrogant, but that's of course not how I mean it. It's more like not talking down to people. And if you really start talking about things that you are interested in, and they might sound crazy to other people, but not just let that off my shoulder and just talking at a certain level. And what I found so amazing is that actually everyone or almost everyone just was able to come onto that level or onto that topic. And that was actually a really good insight for me, is that I might have been down talking to people, and I think that's worse than being arrogant. But it was, oh man, the girls was there. It was just so scary on just that moment. Can I say what I actually want to say? Yes, you can. That was just the most scary thing for me, and but it was amazing to do. It was absolutely amazing. Got so much energy out of that. And I love that. Of course, you know, I'm a bit of a daredevil, as in, I love to do things that I'm really scared of. It's just, it's playing. It's good fun. I love that. So
Excellent.
thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Thanks for sharing. I saw that replay, because, you know, Casper's and Focus Call is at my gym time. And you don't come across as arrogant, right? Like that is to talk about. I think that takes courage to talk about what you really want to talk about instead of what you think people want to hear, you know, especially if what we want to talk about is, I don't know, different, right? So I think that's awesome, man. Did anyone else? Anyone else do anything that scared them?
Yeah,
Hilton.
I'll share.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I wrote a book.
Okay. Sweet.
Wrote a book. It hit me, and in about 5 days, I had it written and got it up for sale.
Wow. Wow.
Dude,
Yeah,
what an overachiever. Garrett,
yeah,
well
I
done,
mean,
man.
it's like, holy cow. You know, I mean, I probably spent $100 an ad, and I sold 2 of them for, I made $12 off of it. But you know what? I mean, what an accomplishment for something that's been on me for 15, 20 years.
Brother, that's amazing. That is huge. Well done, Garrett. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Because I've been in a pretty dank place, and about 2 weeks ago, I just said, I let go. I'm done. I let go. Wrote down 1,000,000 times, I let go. And all of a sudden it came out.
There you go, brother. That's it, man. If we're in a dark place, just, we got to take a step to get out of it, right? You got to move forward. We got to move forward to get out of any dark place. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I
And
have
actually,
the title of a book. That's it.
Yeah, I just attribute that shift to this group here. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, brother. Grateful to have you here, man. Thank you for sharing very, very much. Hilton, you had your hand up, my man.
Yeah. I think for me, what scared me more than anything was to be double open and vulnerable in my videos. And as you know, Danny, I do a Facebook Live virtually every day. And what I decided to do is generally speak my mind more and open that vulnerability side of me more in storytelling and things which has happened to me in the past. So and I think that has made a great impact in my confidence, because I think the thing I wrote down is the belief in myself. You know, that's what's really stopping me a lot of the time. So that's what I wanted to share, really.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, man, I catch your videos every now and then, but every time I do, they connect with me. You know what I mean? Because you always speak from the heart, and we think similar on a lot of stuff. And I love your shirt, by the way. I see that you branded your coaching business and got it on your shirt, man. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Anybody else do anything they wanted to share? Scared them a little bit after the last call? All right, Tony.
I filmed and posted on WhatsApp some videos of me cooking.
Ah, I didn't even know you could do that.
No, that's something I've found out. You can also do it on IGTV or something when they're slightly longer.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Well done. I know you talked about wanting to do that. So congratulations, being a chef at home, man. Now you get to share your knowledge with the world.
Yeah.
And learn to do it. Well done, Tony. Well done.
The other thing that's always holding me back is me.
Yeah, that's a common thread. That's a common thread. It's usually us, right? In fear. You know, it goes, but most things go back to fear, for sure. Thank you for sharing, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Susan.
Hi, Danny.
Hello.
Hi. So I, after your call last week, stepped up and offered to do a presentation of a grounding exercise for the Success Sessions Mastermind. So, you know, it was just that thing of thinking I had something valuable enough that anybody else would be interested in, and then doing it in front of everybody. So I actually had to do it twice, in the morning and the afternoon. So that was my thing.
That is huge. I love it. I'm glad that after our call, that you know you were motivated to do that. I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty much the same thing I do every 2 weeks here. You know, like I still get nervous about this, right? But the fact that it's our call makes it cool because I learn more from all of you guys than you know than I put out there. So we do have something that other people would find valuable. We just have to you know get over ourselves and share it, right?
Yeah,
I
I
love
think
it.
it's something I'm going to carry on with as well, because I think it's a really good thing. I do try and do that, but then you kind of forget about it because it's scary. So I think it's something maybe every week to have to do, or at least every week, preferably every day, but maybe every week.
Set a reminder on your phone, then you can't ignore it.
Yeah, and while I'm on, Danny, I was on YouTube last night watching Golden Buzzer Moments, and guess who popped up a video? I thought I recognize that voice. It
Who's
was your
that?
ad popped up to my YouTube, funny enough.
Really?
Yes. So
Which
you're,
one? My worth of everything in life is hard is worth a fuck. Everything worth a fuck
yes,
in life is hard. That ad.
yes, yes. So you're
Gotcha.
targeting women in Spain who are watching Golden Buzzer Moments. So. But it was great. I loved it.
I love it. That's fantastic. Sometimes your ads just find people, right? I actually later today, I'm interviewing one of on the site is one of my members who's in Mali, Africa, and you know he has a lot of he has a lot of adversity for him to grow his business, you know, and he's getting members and he's making stuff happen from down there. And I wasn't advertising in Mali, Africa, right? But it found him, right? And we're connected. And he's a great dude, and that's how this whole thing works, man. Thanks for sharing, Susan. I appreciate it. Does anybody have anything else that they want to share? All right. So if anybody also wants, Shabir, my man.
And
My screen must be.
and Yori says after Shabir.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is if anybody wants to share anything, just talk, because sometimes I can't see everybody, and sometimes like my notes or something will be covering a person's face, and later when I watch a replay, so that I try to suck a little less each time, so I'll try to learn from it. I'll notice somebody like had their hand up and I didn't see it, and then I feel bad, you know, and I don't like to feel bad. So if you have something to say, just say it. This is our call. You won't bother me ever. Shabir, my man.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, girls. I thought my screen is too small. You can't see me, but that's okay. That was the best challenge. About 8 or 9 months ago, I joined Toastmaster because I love public speaking, and thanks to Mark Ford and Brian Pasley that they put me into that. Last week there was a contest, and I reminded myself I got to go into this contest after 8 months being in the Toastmaster. Some people in our club, they said, no, Shibi, don't make that mistake. People are in this contest. They've been there 8 years, 9 years, and 6 years. You can't compete against them. They said they're gonna smash you. I said, it's okay. I said, listen, I just received this challenge. I got to do something that I'm scared of. They said, no, wait for next year. I said, I'm not gonna wait until next year, man. I'm gonna all in. I'll do it. Long story short, guys, there was 2 contests. One was humorous. I think, Danny, you would have won on that one. And the second one was table topic. I was against the ex-president of our club and the current president, and there was other 2 gentlemen, 6 years experience and 5 years. I came forth on the humorous because I can't do a fake laugh and I can't exaggerate. They said you should have exaggerated. So mine is always inspire people. That's how I am. But on the table topic, I came second. And by having, thank you guys, by having that experience and going against the fear, now all other clubs here in Australia, I received 4 invitations. I had one last night. They want me to be a guest speaker in their club. So a new door opened for me, and it's always best to go against the fear. And one more thing I did for my team, because it's not about me, it's about us. And I asked my team members, this is a challenge. You got to go and do something. They've been scared of start the video journey, the 90-day video journey. I just didn't ask them to start that. I said, make 3 to 4 videos a day. Share your life, be authentic. It's just a family. And they have started that. And now they're up to video 63. They are absolutely smashing it. So that was a fear they got into it. So that's what it is. That's how life is. Fear is always there, guys. Smash it. Face on. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shabir. I love it. All right. You said Joris was next, Curls?
Good afternoon, everyone from Belgium. I have actually a question, because the one thing that is currently holding me back is knowledge. And my question is, when do you know when you know enough?
Well, in my limited experience, you never know enough. Like ever, right? Like what is enough, right? It's like being too happy. Like what's happy enough? You know what I mean? Or what's fulfilled enough, you know? So one thing I said, one thing I read that I really liked what it was. It says, don't turn what you learn into knowledge, turn what you learn into action, right? And whenever you learn something, if you just sit there and you acquire all this knowledge, but we don't do anything with it, then is it really any good, right? So my insight would be, whatever you learn, no matter how small, do something with it, right? And then like to me, that's how you learn. You just figure shit out, right? Like you mess up and then you figure things out, right? So we don't necessarily, in my opinion, have to know everything before we get started. We just need to get started and kind of figure it out as we go. Because if we wait to have enough knowledge in any area of life, we're never going to start. Because what's enough, right? It's objective, right? Enough for you might be totally different from me. So I don't know. I guess that would be my opinion, which is only my opinion. I take full responsibility for my opinions. All right. And we'll address that in a little bit too, George. We're going to talk a little bit about what's holding us back. But I just wanted to have people share what they did that scared them, you know, because I think that's cool. Mario, my man.
Hello, everyone. I didn't know about your challenge, Danny, but a few days ago, I did something I never did before. And I had an invitation from a boy on Instagram, and he wanted to interview me and talking about digital marketing. So I would say, okay, I'm gonna try it. I was afraid, stressed, unbelievable. But when I started, I saw the man who was interviewing me, he was more stressed than I was. So I have to calm him down, and then yeah, we just keep going. So the interviewing was 30 minutes, and yeah, we did it.
Yes. So as you say, when people get nervous like that, just say, look, I have no idea what you're supposed to say. So there should be no expectation that you're going to mess up, because anything you say, I don't know what it's going to be, right? Like there's no script. We're just talking.
Yeah, we're just talking, and a few people responded, and I have no more people following me on Instagram, and yeah, it's good.
I love it. So if we'd have told you a year ago that people were going to reach out to you to ask you because they want to interview you about building a digital business, what would you have thought about that?
Ask Danny. I don't know.
Yeah. My man, don't ask me. Are you kidding me? No.
No, but it's surprising. I was really surprised. He was visiting my website, and he was looking my Instagram profile, and he was asking me questions. And then he said, let's have a live interview. I said,
Love it. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it, my man. So for me, so I try, I do these challenges too. A couple things that I did that have been scaring me that I've just been kind of not doing. was I started, you know, so you guys know, like my brand is Living Grateful. That's the name of that's my brand. That's my company. You know, I have a couple Living Grateful things. And I started the company Living Grateful Health, which is one that I really wanted to do because you know how I feel about health, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all that good stuff. And I just haven't started it, you know, because I've kind of had this fear of, well, my other companies aren't where I want them to be yet, you know, which kind of goes back to what George was talking about. When do I have enough knowledge, you know, to start something or to do something? And, you know, I think I kind of had this fear that what if I don't know enough to help somebody, right? Because all I have is my experience. And so I got over that, right? So I just started it, you know, I did that and import experts. So I've always had the goal that I wanted to do a product business too. But I wanted to focus on my affiliate business first. And I haven't done it. I told myself at the beginning of the year that in the spring, which of course is very vague, that's me not pigeonholing myself down to an exact start date, right? That I was going to start my training for my product business. And then those of you who've been around a while know that, you know, I was pretty much blind in one eye for like a month, the whole month of April. And, you know, then we had this whole zombie apocalypse that's going on the planet right now. And so I use those as just a wonderful excuse to not start my product business, right? Because those are legit. I mean, those are real. But they're still excuses. You know what I mean? Like I'm alive, so it's possible. It just might be a little more difficult. So I have started that. I have my consultation call with them. I started my training and I'm gonna have a product launch before the end of the year. And I got out of my own way and got started. So those were the things that I did to kind of face my fears. And, you know, it came back a little bit too to the previous week's challenge about not complaining, because the excuses that I was telling myself, even subconsciously, about why I hadn't done it were really just complaining, right? Like it's going to be harder. Okay, well, that's not a reason not to do something. And I do believe that, you know, but I'm still human, right? I still don't always act in the exact way that I believe is the best way to act, you know, and I try to do that. So, so those are the things that I did to kind of scare me to move forward since our last call. And, you know, timing certainly is not ideal, you know, for any of it, but that's okay because that's life, right? And as we talk about on here, timing is never perfect. You know, the stars are never aligned just right, you know, especially to do something that's new and uncomfortable, you know, but as we know, time is always now, right now. This is the time right now for whatever it is, you know? And so anyway, so I pulled the trigger and I'm making it happen, right? Because leadership is by example, you know, it's by actions. It's not by words, you know, and it's much better to act imperfectly than to not act, you know, and so far on my journey anyway, pretty much all of my actions have been wildly imperfect, you know, and a lot of them have actually been a big hot mess, but that's okay, you know, because they've got me started and they've given me a foundation to learn from and build on. And, you know, we just face that fear and we move forward. So leadership has been on my mind, I don't know, the last week or two, and I wanted to talk about it on this call, you know, and then yesterday, yeah, it was announced that JJ, you know, John Jackson, is moving on to the next chapter of his life. I don't know if everyone has gotten that email, but that I felt like affected me, you know, and you know, my immediate reaction was that I was hurt, you know, because JJ has played like such a huge role on my journey, and it was actually after one of JJ's calls that I made the decision to do this, right? Like I was out of my corporate sales job that I'd done for a long time. And I had done a resume for another, you know, corporate medical sales job. And the lady said, the headhunter I sent it to, she said, look, I can get you 5 jobs tomorrow, you know, making 150 grand with this resume. And I said, well, just hold off, you know, I'm about to have shoulder surgery, just hold off on that. And I had joined the SFM, you know, and I was, that was like the beginning of the week. And then on Friday morning, I was on JJ's call and it wasn't called Finish Strong then. It was just called the Wake Up Call with JJ. And I remember at the end of that call, like how I felt. You know what I mean? Like I felt inspired, and I felt like I was surrounded by people who were trying to have a positive impact on the world. And I realized, like, this is how I want to feel every day. Like, this is how I want to start my day. I don't want to go back into that corporate life suck that I was in just because I made a lot of money, and it was right then. I called that headhunter and I said, you know what? Trash my resume. Don't ever give it to anybody. I'm not doing that shit. And this is all I've done ever since. Like, that was my decision point, right? Nobody's ever seen that resume except that one lady, and nobody ever will, but it was the feeling that I got from the way that JJ connected with me and how he made me feel with this community that helped me make that decision, So I was hurt yesterday, and I kind of knew it was coming. I mean, JJ and I are, like, we talk like on the actual telephone still. That's a thing. And I knew that it was possible, but I didn't know that was the day, and I didn't know that it was coming that soon, right? So right after I got over, all boohoo, feeling sorry for myself, I felt grateful, right? Because I'm grateful that when I found this community, that JJ was still here, and I felt grateful for all the lessons, that I've learned from him, and the perspective, that I've gained from his words and from his friendship, and just being able to develop a personal relationship with such a kind soul, has been more of a blessing to me than I could ever explain, right? And of all the lessons I've learned from JJ, one that's at the top is leadership, which is what I wanted to talk about today some anyway, and he knows his purpose in life, right? And if you've ever logged into one of those calls, you've heard him say over and over again, it's to serve others with love and respect so that they may flourish, and he runs everything through that purpose, like to ensure that he's living his purpose every day. Like, that's his filter. And, he taught me to do that. It's like, before you act or before you make a decision, is this in alignment with my purpose? Is this who I'm trying to be? And him moving on to where he believes he can have more of an impact on more people with his message, that in itself is leading by example, because he's leaving something that's comfortable and familiar and safe, and he just loved and admired and adored, and he's going to go out there where he doesn't, like, he's just going out to try to have a big impact, and to leave that safety and security to play a bigger game, and face the unknown, that inspires me, man. Like, that's huge, so before we get to the second part of today's topic, I want to go around real quick and just what we wrote on the piece of paper, right? The thing that we believe is holding us back. So I'm gonna go around how you are on my screen, and just tell me what it is. Just tell me what you think the one thing is that's holding you back, okay? And I'll go in the order that you're on my screen, because you're probably in a different order on your screen. So Jacqueline, you are first.
Perfect, because I've got to go back to work in 5 minutes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, my word is time. And I wrote that down. I don't know if it's true, but the first thing that comes to my mind, I would just like to say to that, I used to be a person who rather work more hours for more money. But the last couple of months, I've realized everything what's on my list, what I've got to get done, I can't solve that with money. So I cut down my work hours now, and so I have more time, because that's what's bothering me. I never have the time, so I cut down my work hours to have more time. And what I've done actually is every second week, I work full time 1 week, and the next week I've got off. So every second week I have my ideal day week, That's what I've created for myself at the moment, and I will see how that will work out. So that's all new for me. I'm a bit annoyed that I have to work full time in the week when your call is, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, but I will see if I will gain more time, and yeah, if I find any other excuses, if that doesn't work out, I will see.
Well, I love it, and props to you for taking action to try something new, right? And to create a better life for yourself. Yeah, and if you want, just have your boss call me. I'll work it out. You take this hour off. We'll make it happen. No problem. Thanks for joining us on your lunch break. Shabir.
Thank you, Danny. Just honest and authentic. Nothing and no one can hold me back. Anything I want, I just go and do it. But now it's because it's my turn. I want to share something quickly about JJ. I'm still hurt. When his call finished the other night, it was 2 a.m. in the morning, 2:30, and I received an email from SFM, and of course you all received that. Honestly, at that time, I do not open the email. I just go straight to sleep. But something that there was a bad feeling like inside and say, open this email, and I opened, and I could not believe. I was crying. I was literally crying, and honestly, guys, the entire SFM, but JJ has changed my life and my family's life. He changed me as a person because that was the reason I was committed to his call at 2 a.m. to wake up. He has changed so much in me and in my family, and that affected my other families around me. And I can't thank him enough. And it's sad. It's like when I told my team members, my wife was crying. Like what we just wanted to know, is that just the call finish or he left this FM completely? And it hurted us so much. And that's why this goes. I just wanted to bring it out because it's still, I'm hurt badly. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for sharing, brother. Joris, yours is knowledge. Is that what you said, correct? Knowledge is the one thing that you feel is holding you back?
And my ex as well, but knowledge is the main one. Yeah.
You said knowledge, and what was the second one? I'm sorry, I broke up.
And my ex related to finances because of the divorce. So that's yeah.
Understood, brother. All right, thank you, Tony.
Yeah, me.
There you go, brother.
I think comparatively recently, I've realized that I was in burnout, and I'm sort of dealing with it now because it's been a couple of months, and I'm trying to sort myself out. I have all the time in the world at the moment because I'm on what I do for work is not needed within the environment I've been working in because everybody's struggling. Nobody really is developing new products. And so, yeah. And I'm attending as many of these as webinars as I can. I've really struggled to get my website together, and I'm currently trying to sit down and read Stuart's words on branding so that I can do my bio and finish off my website and get it up and out. And in the meanwhile, I'm making videos and trying to prepare beyond that so that when I get there, I've got something to work with.
Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, brother. Something that helped me doing that, just before I go on to Mario, like I was stuck on my blog in the bio and all this stuff as well in the beginning. And something that helped me was I said, okay, I'm just going to write this, and that's not what I'm going to use. This is not going to be my first blog. This is not going to be my bio. This is not going anywhere. I'm just going to write it. And once I had the expectation off of myself that anybody was actually going to read it, it came pretty easily. And then I was done. And then my second one went like that, right? Because I got over that whole, I don't know, myself, right? So maybe it's just something to try. I don't know. Actually, one person has read my first blog. I did send that one of our members on this call was stuck writing her first blog. And so I sent her that. And I said, here, this is the one I wrote that nobody ever saw, just to get it out. And I don't know, sometimes that can be helpful. So I just wanted to share that because it helps.
I've done that a couple of times, and I'm getting close to actually putting a start to finish you'll appreciate that seeing the state of or lack of hair and the colour of it, I've got quite a lot to write.
There you go, brother. I can imagine. Call that life experience, my friend. Thanks for sharing.
Cheers.
Mario, what's holding you back, man?
What's holding me back? Am I good enough? That's
okay.
If
Very
I'm good
common.
enough, I know I can do so much, but still I'm thinking it's just in my mind am I good enough?
Understood.
I was surprised with the interview. They were asking questions and I answered everything, and after that I feel better. But still, I need to make progress. I have to start making video ads, and it's holding me back. Yeah, just because of am I good enough? I need to keep going.
Thanks for sharing, brother. You are, by the way. Chris, I wanted to call on you when you ran away from the computer, man, just to play a joke because you were running away, but I stopped myself.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Danny.
What's up, man?
What's holding me back is me.
All right.
Opening it up and exposing myself. Not wanting to do that. That's one of the big things that I just need to get over.
I got it. Who else? So here, in the interest of time, who else on here, raise your hand if what you wrote down was yourself? If you wrote down exposing yourself, if that's what's holding you back. I love it. All right. Thank you. All right, Suzette, what did you have?
Hi, Danny. Yeah, focus is actually a problem for me, but to the contrary of not being able to focus.
I can't. Can anybody else? Yes, it's.
Speak closer to your mic.
Can you hear me now?
It's very muffled.
Can you hear me now? No.
It's not that great, no.
Okay, I'm
Can't hear her.
Do you know sign language?
No.
Me neither.
No, don't worry.
It's a bit.
Well, that's okay right there.
Better now.
Okay.
Keep the mic as.
Just hold the mic.
Okay, so just a quick one. Focus. I realized recently I tend to focus way too much. I get completely absorbed by whatever it is that I'm doing. If I've got a project, which I had recently, that is all I can think and focus on, and everything else disappears. So so I'd love to learn to just do a little bit more multitasking. Yeah.
Okay.
Not get so absorbed, you know.
Right. Well, so focus or multitasking.
Exactly.
Because those are kind of opposites, right? Yeah. You know, like focus, complete, then on to the next thing, then on to the next thing, and then you'll be present, and you might find it, easier to complete what's in front of you if we're not trying to do multiple things at once, Just a thought. All right, Susan, what did you have?
Yeah, well, a bit similar to those guys. I had the self-doubt.
Okay, I didn't know that. I couldn't notice that you raised your hand. A lot of people raise their hand at once. So I'm mentally trying to remember. Okay, who all raised their hand? But I'm not that smart, so I can't remember that much. Okay. I got it. Thank you, Charlie. Did you have yourself?
Yeah, confidence and belief.
Okay. All right. I know Nasco raised his hand. Alba.
Yeah, mine I think is also self-confidence that comes from, I feel like I lack a lot of experience compared to other people that have been out there doing it a lot longer than I have. So.
Okay. Well, the good news is that you're not in competition with anybody else who's out there who's done it longer than you. You're only in competition with who you were yesterday. So that takes some pressure off, right? Jackie, what about you?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Like most of us here, I have limiting self-beliefs about myself. Fear factor is another one. I just finished module 7, and I kind of posted in the tribe yesterday. So, and I saw, Danny, you had said about joining the CTA 90 program, Committed to Action. So I'm going to try and throw myself into that, get myself out there. Because I think that's the best way to get over what I'm going through right now. So, that's me.
I love it. Well, if you want to reach out to me on the side, I'll be happy to help you come up with some goals if you like. I'd be more than happy to do that. Of course. Thanks for joining us. Okay, who else did not have themselves or belief? Because if I try to guess, I'm just going to screw it up again. Garrett, yes.
Yeah, I got reattached to money. And yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Tony, were you raising your hand, brother?
Yeah, hi Danny. I've written down perfectionism. I really struggle for doing messy action and taking imperfect action. I've started a daily affirmation a couple of weeks ago just to try and say imperfect action. It's better to fail forward than not do anything at all, because I'm guilty of just not doing anything and just having that constant block because I feel that my OCD won't allow me to do it unless it's perfect and I'm 100% happy with it all the time. I just need to get over that mental blocking myself.
Got it. That's very common. Very common, for sure. Nasco, my man.
Hey, thank you, Danny, for letting me speak here.
Of course.
Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning that what I feel is stopping me is really to focus on one thing. And actually, in contrast to Suzette, I am multitasking, and that's why I have problems with the focusing. But actually, when I think about this, my real problem is to pinpoint my purpose. And now having the bridge to JJ and his disappearance from our from our meetups, for me, the same like with Shibir, and I think most of the members here, it hurt me. I felt also fear of losing. And as we spoke with JJ last time, actually it was yesterday, when we spoke about how we control the fear, I was grateful for his presence because he affected my conscious life, but I also allowed myself to let him go. And that was part of finding my purpose, to let others and things go, and therefore making me focused on the things that I would like to focus. Did I make it very complex for you guys? I'm sorry for that, but I'm also still under the impression of losing JJ.
Understood, brother.
So for me, focus, not having the purpose, then fearing of losing, going back to the purpose. Then if I have a purpose, then I would be more focused.
Got it. Thank you for sharing, brother. All right, who is next? Carrie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For me, I just joined SFM about a day or two ago, and so this is my very first meeting, and it's eye-opening. So for me, it's a lack of knowledge, a fear, and just, being astounded at the amount of information that's out there and overwhelmed.
I love it. Well, we're glad that you're here. We are grateful that you are here. For one, this is definitely not a meeting. I'm allergic to meetings. We're done with meetings. We're just hanging out, learning some stuff, right? So I will say, if you feel overwhelmed, you are like 100% of everyone who's ever joined the SFM ever, right? It's like, it's referring to like drinking from a fire hose. You know what I mean? And that's cool. And that's normal, right? And that's how it would be if you were trying to learn any new skill. But that's why we have a system. You just put one foot in front of the other, just a little bit each day, a little bit each day. And then the more you know, the more you'll realize, oh my God, there's so much more I need to know. And then that's okay too, right? Because it's on your own schedule. So we're glad that you're here. And it's good that you're overwhelmed, because you would be weird if you weren't,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you. All right. Genevieve, did you have your hand up?
I didn't, but I was I was just thinking, I've got a long list here, but I think probably fear of judgment is my biggest, because I haven't been with SFM very long, but the longer I am, I'm starting to find my voice, and I'm starting to find what my value could be. But I have a problem putting myself out there. So I've just today done one of your fear things and put a photo of me on my Instagram profile. Before I had a picture of the sea.
Nice.
And every time I write blogs, I just quietly keep them to myself and I don't tell anyone I've written another blog. So it's kind of contrary to the whole point of running a business. I do the work. So yeah, big block. Something I have to work through.
I'm gonna do a private business. I'm gonna be my customer, and I'm gonna do this over here.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, the good thing is you gotta laugh about it. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah. Most people that come in here, it's been my experience exactly what that is. You know, fear of judgment, and that's not a business thing. That's a life thing, really. You know what I mean? It's like we don't want to be judged. You know, because what if we're not good enough? And then we all have these insecurities and these fears and all that. So it's totally normal. I appreciate you sharing. Reggie and Kate, what you got for me?
Hello.
Hello.
Hope you all good. Reggie, go ahead first.
I just want to say a few things first. Since today talking about leadership, and for me, what I wanted to say about JJ is like when I think of leadership, it attached with JJ because he was the first one when we went in the first call. He was like, take a pen and write down, I am a leader. And since that day, it's like when I think of leadership, he's the number one on my list. So yeah, just wanted to throw this out there. And for me, the most challenging thing so far, there's mainly three things. One is being present. I was not present at all. And I was always thinking, I'm supposed to do this next. I'm always seeing myself under pressure. And also taking action, and also celebrating the wins. I feel sometimes I'm so hard on myself. I do things and I feel like I didn't do anything. So yeah, that's a few things that holding me back, I think. Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that. I got a job for you if you're willing to accept it. Is write down, today I was awesome at blank. Right? And then until we catch up on it, you got to just fill it in once a day at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be, I was awesome at being pretty. It doesn't matter what it is, my man. It can be anything. You just write down something that you were awesome about that day, and that should help.
Got
All
it.
right.
Thanks.
Kate.
I think like when it's coming to our common problem in business-wise, it's first of all money. I would agree with Garrett. I think he also attached it to money first of all, and then getting too comfortable sometimes, and then slow down, and then moving very slow when you're supposed to go a little bit faster. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just get loose, and I don't know if it's lazy or procrastination, but it happens every now and then.
Excellent. Human nature. I appreciate you sharing. All right. Was there anybody else who did not share what they thought was holding them back that wasn't shared by someone else? All right. So I relate to all of those things. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because just what I want to touch on right now, we'll do a whole call on this later. But it's about total personal ownership, right? And the book of the week I'm gonna recommend is on this topic. But I read a book a couple months ago. It was called Zero Limits, and it was by Joe Vitale and this guy, Dr. Aliakaha Hulin, I think is how you say his name. I have no idea how to spell it. But it was about Ho'oponopono, which is basically it's a practice where the foundation is that we are responsible for everything in our lives, right? If it's in our life, we are responsible for it. And one thing that that I've come to believe that is until we take complete ownership over something, it's extremely difficult to change it, right? Like, how do we change something if we don't really know where we're starting? Okay, so we have to be mindful. To not let our ego get in the way of of us taking ownership of what we're doing. So I just wanted to kind of bring this up for us to think about. Okay, so ways that we can take personal ownership of our life is different kind of for everybody, right? But whatever we have that is in our life that is holding us back, we are responsible for. Okay, it doesn't matter if we're telling ourselves it's because of my partner, right? Or it's because of my boss, or it's because of my living situation, or if it's because of my childhood, or if it's because of whatever. Okay, things that have happened to us in our life are not our fault, but they are our responsibility to deal with, and whenever we take personal ownership of everything in our life, it becomes easier. I shouldn't say easier. It becomes more realistic for us to change them and to move forward with them. Okay, so the one thing that we feel is holding us back, own it. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. If we're having trouble focusing, okay, well, if we just tell ourselves, I have trouble focusing, I have trouble focusing. Well, guess what? We're going to have trouble focusing, right? But if we take ownership over that and we say, okay, what can I do to focus more, right? So how do you break that down? Like, what does that mean? Okay, like for me, it's block out distractions, right? If focus was my thing, because I've had this, it's okay, I need to block out distractions. I need to maybe not overcommit myself. Maybe I need to make sure that I schedule some me time, into the day, whatever that looks like. But until we take personal ownership for the things that we believe are holding us back, they're probably not going to change, right? Because since we're responsible for changing them, we got to own them. We can't change something for someone else. And if we don't feel that we are responsible, or if we don't take ownership for whatever it is that we believe is holding us back, how are we ever supposed to do anything about it, right? Like, I can't change something for Charlie, for example, okay? And NASCO can't change something for me, right? Like, we got to own that shit. We got to do something about it to change it. And it all starts with just personal, total ownership. Okay, so for me, the thing that I thought about whenever, because when I have you guys around a piece of paper, if it's your first time here, then you don't know this, but like, I do that too. And you would think, well, I've had all this time to think about it. But I actually, whatever the first thing that pops into my head, that's what I kind of write down to. And then I kind of marinate on it and overthink it, and because that's what I do. So my first thing was authentically communicate in video. Like that to me, but for me, it popped up business. That was just the first thing, what's holding me back. And that, of course, is related to my business. And, I feel like I've set goals. Okay, I'm going to broadcast in video. I'm going to, do this one time a week or something. And I do it, but I think that's holding me back. Like, I've kind of worked out the aspects of my business, and it makes money, and it does these things, but I believe that what is holding me back from going to the next level is my ability to authentically communicate a message in video, mainly to my subscribers, right? The people that actually gave me their name and email address because they saw my video and they wanted something different, regardless of why they gave me their name and email address. And, I've gone through and I've rewritten my emails and I've redone my follow-up and I've done all this stuff and avoided actually just shooting a damn video and broadcasting to them all the time, right? Because I have fear around that. And that's the thing that jumped out to me. So it is like kind of on my YouTube channel or maybe social, which I don't really care about. I just kind of have those because if somebody wants to look me up, they can see I'm actually a human being, because as you guys know, I'm allergic to social media. And I've come up with all this list of reasons why I haven't done it, right? Like, I tell myself, I'm going to shoot a video today. And I'm like, well, I got to be in the mood to be creative, or I don't have anything valuable to say today, or I'm not feeling it, right? I can't think of a good way to deliver my message. I mean, I can come up with a whole list of excuses, and most of them are bullshit, if not all of them, right? But I believe them, because they're real to me, because that's what's holding me back is myself. right? And we all put ourselves, most of us did, right? And that all comes back to taking personal ownership of those things. So, you know, my way of taking ownership over this, which is also something that scares the shit out of me, is to make the commitment to do the 90-day video journey again, right? Like I've known this for a few months and I just have had the fear and I haven't done it. And when I did it originally, I was scared to death, and then it still scared me, so I did it again. And then it still scared me to death, but I did it, okay? But, you know, I believe that if I make the commitment just to do 90 videos in 90 days, then I will get more comfortable and I will find my voice in communicating, and then so I can use those videos to, or use that platform as a way to have videos to broadcast to my members. So I'm making that commitment. That's what I'm going to do to take personal ownership of that. I will shoot my first video today in the 90-day video journey, and I will do 90 videos in 90 days. I guarantee it. I might not do one every single day, but I might do 3 in a day. But on day 90, I'll have 90 videos done. And I do not want to do that. Let me just be totally clear. This is not something I want to do, but I know that I should, right? I know that it is the way for me to take ownership and to get over the, maybe I don't have something valuable to say, or I'm worried about people judging me, which I don't think that I really care about that much, but I must somewhere inside of all of this hot mess, right, care. Otherwise I would be doing it. So, so that's my commitment. Okay. That's me taking ownership of what I believe is holding me back, and I will do that. So, we've only got a couple minutes here. Kroll's always has a call right after this. So if anybody has any commitments, just post them, I guess, in the Facebook group, or not the group, like Kroll, this is going on Facebook now, is like a thing. So under there, if you have a commitment that you want to do to face that, type it up and get accountable. And that way we don't go over on our time, but that's what I'm doing, right? And that's all I can control is my actions, right? Because well done is better than well said every time, right? Okay. All right, so action item. Here's my action item for the week, for today. There's 2. First one is spend some time in silence today, unless it's the middle of the night, you know, like my man Shabir over there, just when you wake up, and take personal ownership over whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever that means. Like really, really think about it. What can I do to change this and not be a victim to the thing that's holding me back, and take personal ownership over that? All right. That's the first action item. The second one is tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time is JJ's last call. If you are not registered for that call, please register for it, and let's show up and give some support to the man who has given so much of himself to our community. That would mean a lot. So those are your 2 action items. Your book of the week. I guess I should not call it the book of the week, because technically we do this every other week, but it just doesn't sound as good to say book of every other week. That's kind of a mouthful. But anyway, the book is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. This book is the jam, okay? There's a follow-up to it called The Dichotomy of Leadership, but I had to finish this one first. So Extreme Ownership. That is the book of the every other week. Curls, thank you for making all of this happen. Everyone who has joined today, thank you so very much for investing your time with us here on our call. We're super, super grateful that you did that, man, because this doesn't happen without all of us. So thank you very much, and make it a grateful day.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Carl.
Wow, that was an amazing call. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. I share your pain in regards to JJ as well. So yeah, we're losing your pup there in a way. Not losing him, but you know, it just feels like this. I get you completely. Thank you again, everybody. And we will be back in 2 weeks' time with more to share from this amazing man that is Danny. Danny, thank you. You're the one.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And Curls, you got 2 extra minutes. Look at that. You can actually breathe. Maybe go pee or something before your next call.
I'll just do end call and click. You know, this is how it happens. I'm like, I just soak this in a little bit more. And yeah, I really love this call very much. So,
We love you. Appreciate it. Y'all have an amazing day.
thank
Love
you.
you guys.
Bye, everybody. And we'll see you on the call tomorrow. Come and join. Yeah?
All right.